Hello out there in video land. Let's get our radio guys going. Here we go. Okay. Everything's running. It looks good. We are on Trash Talking Tuesday today. And my name is Paul Calamere. This is your city, your voice, coming to you live from the studios of 4680Q Radio. Notice I don't have a hat. You know why? Because it's a beautiful day out there. Yeah. Yesterday it got to 50 degrees. What a day. It's a sloppy mess around town. Let's face it. Everything's melting and all that other kind of crap. But at the end of the day, it's a a nice day in the neighborhood. We're in the 40s. It's going to be there the rest of the week, I believe. Maybe a couple of days, it's going to drop down. But we're there. I said March 1st is summer. Well, I'm not going to be that far off, am I? I don't think I'm going to be. Anyway, this snow is going to go fast if this keeps up. I've already noticed about 2 inches of a drop in my front lawn in my backyard. So there you go. Everything's good. Everything's good in the hood. We're getting into March. I can't wait to get into the 50s for good. Okay, so we got lots to talk about in the show today. A lot of loonies jumping on me. I love it. They're crazy, these people. But first, before we talk about them, let's talk about my sponsors. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Hamel Machine Company, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. All those three great businesses in town sponsor my show. And I'm hoping to get another one. I'd like to get another one. So I've got somebody who might be interested. And you're going to love this. Hey, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Look at this. Looky. Now's the time to get your car in there. Get Ken to check your car out from top to bottom. Get ready for what's coming. Summer. And it's going to be a good time to get your car checked. Be proactive. You know, get those winter tires off of there. Get the checkup. Make sure all your systems are working. Throw it on the scope. Throw it on, what do you call that thing? The analyzer. It'll tell you all your error codes in your car. He's going to fix everything. Make your car run tip-top, safe for the summer, ready to go. And I'm looking forward to it already. I got to get my car in to get detailed. It's got to get detailed. Get rid of this slop it's been all winter. Where do you go to find Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop? Very easy. Go down to Oakwood Drive, just next to the Kia dealership. He's right there. Go to wildbillsauto.ca for information or sign up. And also, don't forget, he's got a full body shop. So if you're getting a little fender bender this time of year, not a big deal. All you do is take it in. Ken's going to fix your car. He's going to send it out in showroom condition. You're going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. Ken's going to be happy. And we thank you very much for supporting our sponsors, because they support the show and they support the city. And while you're at it, look down on this video. There's a subscribe button. Hit it. Smash it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave a comment. Come on. I'm talking about controversial stuff here. Some of you must have something to say about what I'm saying, whether I'm right or wrong. I'm an idiot or what? Come on now, have a say. Let's go. We got an election coming up in 2 days. We should be talking about that a little bit more. And I'll talk about that a lot today, actually. But smash that subscribe button, support our sponsors, because they support the show. Okay, let's get the viewer comments first. I had a few comments to talk about that I put off because I didn't have a lot. At the Iceman 69, my buddy John Ringo Beam. My idea for doctors, yes, it is, John. And I must say that, his idea for doctors, and he said it right on the show. I was in here a couple months ago, maybe, and he said right on the show that the city should hire its own doctors. Never mind putting $50,000, $100,000 out to attract them here. Hire our own. Set up a clinic so they have not a wheel to turn. They get out of med school. They're ready to go. You put them right in a clinic with all the stuff they need to run a clinic or an office, and away they go. That's it. That's how simple it is. And that's what John's talking about, and John is right. He is right. He said that right in my show. And at 881 Slick said to John, Absolutely, John. I remember you telling me about that. Oh my God, years ago. I love, I love that you're right aging, sir. And I think he meant that that his comment is aging well. That's right. It's a great idea then. It's a great idea now, and City Council should seriously, seriously consider it. And I'll talk about a location later on in the show. Okay, and any more comments? 881 Slick, calm down, buddy. You're gonna burst. You're gonna bust a blood vessel. LOL. These council members could give a chit. And yeah, sometimes I think that you're right, Gary. You're right. They couldn't care less. If they did, they wouldn't keep raising our taxes, and they'd look for ways to save us money. I don't see them doing any of that. I don't see anybody except Lori Lococo standing up for the taxpayer and saying no to the budget the way it's presented and the way it stands. So, out of all those people in that city council sitting around that chair, what do we have? One person. One person out of seven. Well, now there's only six councilors, believe it or not. That's right. Wayne Campbell's on is on leave, and only eight has stepped down to run for MPP. So there's only six people on council now. Unbelievable, unbelievable. They won't replace anybody. They won't throw anybody out. It's just the way it is. So yeah, they don't seem to care. If they did, look at the city. Look around. You think the city is better off now than it was 4 years ago? That's up to you. You tell me. I'm just telling you to look around. That's it. Okay, that's the viewer comments. I didn't have a lot of comments. I guess everybody agrees with me. I love it. That's interesting. I can't believe it. I say some pretty wacky stuff, although that's truly I'm telling the truth. I'm being candid. And here's a nice little public service announcement. How about this for all you people out there? This is what's going on in the city, and nobody wants to stop it. Apparently, because they keep doing it. I received a call from a friend of mine that lives just around the corner from me. Apparently, the same people I had on camera a week ago or a couple weeks ago, I put it on Facebook. Some woman coming up my driveway, rifling or shaking handles on cars. She couldn't get in; they were locked. But she's shaking handles, then walking down the driveway and just taking off about 4 o'clock in the morning. And like my neighbor said, she's lucky I wasn't up, or she would have got her ass kicked. I don't know if he'd do that or not, but I guarantee he would have fired out the door and he would have been yelling. But basically, they managed to get in his car, my friend, and steal a few items. One of the items, Apple earbuds. You know those Apple iBuds or whatever the hell they're called. I don't know what they're called. I don't have a set, so I don't know what they're called. But they had a tracking device on them. So he gets on his phone, finds out where they are, calls the cops and says, they stole them. Here's where the people are. Can you go down and get them back for me? And the cops did absolutely nothing. He had the video camera. He's got video cameras too. So he knew, he saw them go into his car and all that. He's got the videos he showed him too. So he said, okay, I'm gonna go talk to these people myself. So he tracked them down to the bus terminal down here on Erie Avenue. And he confronted these two thieves, a man and a woman, who at first denied they had these buds. And when he told them, I've got a tracker, they're right there in that bag there. Here, look at my phone. They admitted that they did have them. But they didn't know they had them because they bought the bag from somebody else. And the bag was full of stuff. So he said, okay, give me it back. I want them back. And his garage opener was in there too. They took that out of the car. He didn't even know about that. He looked in the bag to get his buds, and there's the car thing was in there, the garage opener. So he pushed them he didn't push them physically, but he pushed them to get who they bought the bag from. And apparently there's a house on St. Clair Avenue, just around the corner here, up towards Morrison Street. coming from downtown here. If you go make a right on Queen Street, if you're coming down, traveling down Queen Street towards City Hall, you go up St. Clair, and on the right hand side, just before Morrison, is a big 2-story yellow house with 2 balconies on it. And they said that's where they get drugs from. And this guy's a fence, or whoever's in there is a fence, and they take stolen property and they give them drug credits. It's like Canadian Tire rewards program. So they bring him stuff that they steal, give it to him, and he gives them credits for drugs. That's what they said. Now I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard. I can't confirm this. I haven't investigated it. Why the cops aren't down there is beyond me. But that's what he said. And these guys go out scouring the city, wandering around neighborhoods early in the morning, late at night, early in the morning. His got stolen at 7 in the morning. And this house is just a stone's throw from City Hall. And there's homeless people living in a trailer back there as well. You can drive by and go see. And, it really makes you mad because there's nothing the city can do or wants to do about this situation. People living in trailers and driveways. I have people across the street from me who've been living in a tent in a backyard all winter. And there's no bylaws to stop this. And, with these new ADUs they're putting on, these extra dwelling units they're allowing people to build that have to be to code in that. I don't see why they even allow tents in a backyard for people to be living in. I mean, that shouldn't be an approved dwelling in a backyard, but yet they won't do anything about it. These people were living in a broken down car in the driveway before they got the tent, but the city won't do anything about it or can't do anything about it. I've had bylaw guys there. They can't do anything about it. Unless there's a bylaw that they can't build these, and I think they should pass a bylaw that they can't live in a tent in a backyard. Now that they're allowing actual ADUs, like dwelling units, to be built up to code in the backyard with running water and everything else you're supposed to have if you have a rental unit. And I don't know if these people that live in the tent are paying rent or not. I wouldn't doubt if they're giving the homeowner because they're plugged into the power there. And the people who will live in this house are renters renting from a Chinese owner in Toronto. And they don't know what they're doing. They don't care. But the city says as long as the people who are renting don't mind them living in the backyard. So there you go. If you're missing goods or have had them stolen out of your driveway, your house, they take a ride to St. Clair Avenue and see what's going on there. Your goods may be there. That's where they're being fenced, according to these people. Make sure you lock your car doors at night. These people travel in packs of 4 or 5 and running around all the neighborhoods in the city, no matter where you live. So keep your eyes open, get some security cameras, lock your doors on your cars at night. And if they decide they want something in your car, they'll break the window and there's nothing anybody can do about it. It appears there's nothing anyone can do. That's just the way it is. Terrible thing, stupid thing. But it is what it is in Niagara Falls. Look around. Okay, so this I said I was going to review every candidate. So I have the last candidate I'm going to review right now. And that is Jody Burdett. And I'm sitting here looking at his sign right across the street. Vote Jody Burdett. And yeah, and I don't know if you know who Jody Burdett is. A lot of people probably don't know who it is or who he is. But he's an independent candidate who threw his hat in the ring and he's running. And if you've watched City Hall, you probably know who Jody Burdett is. He's been on my show several times, an awesome guy, and he knows a lot about the city and how city council runs. Probably knows how the city council runs better than the city councilors, to be honest with you. He shows dogged determination when dealing with city council and holding them responsible and accountable to the taxpayers, as well as the proper procedure. You see him there, you'll know that he does that. For Jody, the devil is in the details. He's outspoken, but in a measured way. Jody knows council procedure better than the counselor sitting there, and he spends hours researching different things to be able to speak to them when he gets and does a delegation. Now, they tried to stop him from sending in emails. He was sending in emails about different planning things and stuff like that, for his opinion to be voiced at the council and to get on the agenda. They stopped him from doing that. So his end around was to go to city council meetings in person and tell them he wants to do a delegation and get up and speak for 5 minutes. So that's how he got around it when they tried to censure him. He outsmarted them and now attends every council meeting in person. Usually it takes us 5 minutes to talk about whatever he wants to talk about. And this is his persistence. This guy does fight. He knows how to fight. He's smart. And he's launched integrity claims against city council for different things. So he knows the laws, knows how to use them, and knows what to do. And I think probably of all the people running for MPP, he may be the most informed. He may be the guy who knows the most about procedure and all that, and knows how to argue a point. Now, Jody, because he's independent, he's not in it for party. He's in it for the people. You can go to his website, jodyburdett.ca, and that's Burdett with one B-R or B-U-R-D-E-T-T, Burdett. Not like Burdett Drive, just Burdett without the E. Jody, Joedy, BURDETT.ca. You'll be impressed with his message. He addresses all the major issues, gives his opinions on tariffs, an amalgamated region, GO transit service, renewable energy, affordable housing, homelessness, and healthcare, and especially in Fort Erie with their hospital problem over there. He says he's going to advance the community's wants and needs, and he says independents have won before, so don't worry about voting for an independent. They've won before and have proven to be dedicated not to the party, because they don't represent a party. They represent you, the people. There's no obligation on an independent to be whipped into following the party line. They vote for the people. So he's working for you, representing you. In the event that the two major parties are deadlocked on an issue, independents can cast deciding votes. There's definitely room for independents in Queen's Park. Now, looking at it, it's very tough for an independent to win. It's the funding, a lot of funding. You see these main parties spending thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, signs all over the place and everything else. And in Niagara, it's the vote is a lot of times about who you know, popularity contests. So the familiarity factor also comes into play. But for Jody, check out his website for more information. I think you'll be impressed with what he has to say. He's a smart guy. And like I say, he's been on the show a few times. I've talked to him. And this guy knows his stuff. He really does know his stuff. Whether he can make it and get elected, I don't know. Because like I say, a popularity contest and familiarity in this city are two big factors when it comes to into play. But he's out there as an independent. Give him a look, and you may consider him for a vote. And while I'm at it, I found another party. I didn't even know this party existed, nor did I know they were in this election. It's called the Ontario Party, led by Derek Sloan. Now, I've heard this name Derek Sloan before for sure. I can't remember why or where I heard it. He had something to do with politics, but he's running this party on the Ontario Party, and Niagara Falls has a candidate named Andrew Seifert. Now, I couldn't find a website for Andrew. I searched around trying my best. But the Ontario Party says its core belief is Ontario sovereignty, ensuring that Ontario, not Ottawa, dictates its own future. To achieve this, they will introduce the Ontario Sovereignty Act, allowing the province to reject harmful federal policies. Okay, kind of like the 10th Amendment in the United States, where the states have autonomy to run their own state outside of anything that is in the Constitution regarding federal issues. They will establish a banking bill of rights to protect financial independence and demand the same income tax arrangement as Quebec to enhance Ontario's fiscal autonomy. They believe in democracy through referendums. So Ontarians have a decisive voice in shaping Ontario policies. And the platform is a bold vision for an independent, prosperous, and secure Ontario. And if you want to know more about the Ontario Party, which it was interesting to read what they had to say, www.ontarioparty.ca for more information. And that makes all the candidates. I think I've talked about all of them in this area. I don't know anything about Andrew Seifert. I mean, I wish I did. I tried to look for more. Never got any flyers from them or anything like that. So the only thing I could tell you is just a little bit that I have found for it. So now, other election news. Woo! The Cheeto Bandito, Wayne Gates, is not taking anything for granted. He's not taking this election for granted. I got another one of these in the mail. This is the second one. So it's a two-way race, he's saying, between him and the PC candidate, Ruth Ann Newesteg. And he's giving us a little bit of excess about things. But who cares about this? I don't care about that. I just brought it to show you. But at the end of the day, here's what's the deal is that's the second one I've got. Wayne's pushing hard, and he's not taking anything for granted, which is pretty cool. I didn't get any flyers in the mail from any other candidate. That's the only one I got in the mail. I showed you a flyer, a thing like this for Ruth Newesteg, and somebody dropped a wad off in the studio here. That's where I got it, but I didn't get anything in the mail. Wayne's the only one that I've seen doing this. I haven't got anything else. They might come before the election on Thursday. So as much as Wayne's doing all this and pushing hard, signs all over the city, we also have the PC candidate, Ruth Ann Newesteg, pushing hard. And there's a lot of Facebook fans who always talk about her and talk bad about Wayne Gates. So she's getting that kind of exposure, and all the ham and egger conservatives are stepping up to save her. They're holding their noses a little bit, maybe, but party is party. I saw a picture of her with Rob Nicholson on Facebook. So he's a heavyweight conservative that made Niagara proud years ago. Other than that, she isn't doing pressers or debates. So PCs are arguing her sad case to the multitudes on YouTube. That's where or on Facebook. That's where everything seems to be happening, and touting her as the next big thing. Although she voted to increase our taxes 3 times since she's been sitting on city council, really has done nothing. Has no qualifications to be MPP. Nothing. I've seen some Kapoor signs around town, and let's face it, the Liberals don't have a chance. And by parachuting this person in here, that's ridiculous. That's as bad as just appointing somebody to represent the PC party rather than going through a nomination process. They're forcing us to vote for a candidate that you don't want to, maybe, and I can't make that vote. I'm sorry, I just can't make that vote. Can't make that vote. So, but other than crickets from her, the Kapoor, Shafali Kapoor, since the debate with Gates, haven't heard much from her. Seen her face on a couple signs around town. That's it. No real news from the other candidate. Jody Burnett's got a sign right across the street from here. The Ontario Party haven't seen anything or heard anything. The Green Party haven't seen or heard anything from them. They declined to do the debate as well. So there's 2 days to the election date. That's on Thursday, which is when I'll vote. I am going to vote. My prediction, who's going to win this one? I'll give you that later on in the show. So let's get to my second sponsor, Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza. And if you like pizza, like I like pizza, and you know I like pizza, then you're going to love Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. They use the Mancini family recipe for crust and for their sauce. You can't beat it. They mix it in the right ratios on the pizza. Pizza and cheese, Saputo mozzarella and brick blend. Excellent. And you know what? They got a special going on until the end of February. $20 for a tray of pizza with 3 items. How can you beat that? 3 items for $20. Are you kidding me? This is a tremendous pizza. I got one the other day. It was fantastic. I froze half of it, and now whenever I'm jonesing. Whenever I'm jonesing for a pizza, I reach into the freezer, let it thaw, throw it in the toaster oven, and I'm good to go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. A lot of people walking by today here. That's why I'm waving. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, 905-374-2222. They have a full menu. Steak and cheese poutine, panzerotti, excellent chicken wings. You're not going to go wrong. And they're open till 2 in the morning, Friday and Saturday for your convenience. Pete's Pizza, Victoria.ca, or skip the dishes or any of them. Support our sponsors because they support the show and they support the city. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to the video. Okay, one word about the notion that a candidate that is not with the ruling party cannot get things done in the city. This is what people keep saying. And you know what? I was saying it. But I wanted to know if it was true. So I read a couple papers on it by these political people, right? These, the people who are teaching it and teaching politics. And they say it's a load of baloney. So what they said that if, like the idea that if you don't elect an MPP that matches with the prevailing party, that you're not going to get anything is just not right. It just doesn't hold any water. It's never been proven that that's the case. And the reason is every premier wants to win every riding. Let's face it. You'd like to win every riding if you could. I mean, that's their goal anyway. So to do that, they've got to give every riding some kind of attention, no matter who the prevailing MPP is. So they're there as premier to work with all the people from every riding in Ontario. It doesn't matter who you elect as your MPP. It's more about you being part of Ontario and getting stuff. And if they want to win, they have to give you something because they'll never get a vote in your area. Now, the prevailing MPP takes credit for it, regardless of what party they're with, like we see in Niagara. Niagara Falls has received a new $1 billion hospital, GO Train service, and we're looking at widening the QEW out of Toronto, expanding the Niagara District Airport, and twinning the Garden City Skyway, and more, all under the NDP MPP, while the PCs rule the province. Party politics has really not hindered the Niagara region from getting what they want and need, so that notion is not based in fact. It's a notion not built on truth. And I was a guy who spread that misinformation for a long time until I started reading up on exactly, does it affect it? I wanted to know. And there's nothing that proves that it does. So my point to everybody out there is vote for who you feel will best serve your needs. There's no need to hold your nose and vote for a bad candidate, thinking the city needs an MPP that aligns with the prevailing power in the province. That notion doesn't hold water, and that alignment will not make a difference. And you shouldn't have to hold your nose to vote for any MPP, any candidate. Whoever suits you the best, whoever aligns with your thoughts the best, whoever brings forth the values that you're looking for, that's who you want to vote for. And that's how I do it. I voted for a lot of different people. I voted for Vince Cario Sr. when he was a Liberal. I voted for Kim Crater. I voted for Bob Gale. I mean, I take the guy who's best for Niagara Falls. It doesn't matter what party he's with. That's how I usually vote, although I do have my things. I will not vote NDP or Liberal. That's one of my tenets. I will not vote for that, only because I don't believe anything they believe in. So they're never going to get a vote. Right on that, for that fact. But in this election, I won't vote for PC either. So those 3 parties are out. Nope. Can't do it. And don't blame me. Yeah, everybody's blaming me. Oh, no, don't blame me. You blame the PC party who appointed a lame candidate and forced me to look elsewhere. Don't blame me. Anybody blames me, I'm going to give it to them, because don't blame me for what the PC party did to this city and put forward a lame candidate, appointed them like a Kamala Harris, and it's their fault, not ours. I know a lot of people who are PC supporters who are not going to vote for PC because they didn't nominate that person the democratic way, and they don't like the candidate. Not that they don't like her personally. See, you guys have got to separate liking someone personally and liking the business. You have to separate business from personal. And when you get down to City Hall, all those people are great people. I know Mike Strange. I know Vic Peterangelo. They're great guys. They're great guys. But when they sit down at that table with my tax dollars, it's business. It's business. And it's the same with Ruth Ann Newesteg or Wayne Gates or anybody else. It's business. And if I don't think you can run the business, you're not getting my vote. That's it. That's how simple it is. But don't blame me. Blame your PC party who never had a fair election, a fair nomination process. You know, I had a guy who was running. He called me up and I talked to him. He's a good guy. And he was going to run for the conservative for the PC nomination. So he said, Paul, are you a member of the party? And I said, no, I don't think I am. And he goes, well, you can go in and sign up for $10 and they'll give you the vote so you can vote for me when they start nominating people. Okay, I did that. Never heard from him in a couple weeks. I said, how you doing with your nomination? When are they going to have the nomination for the party? He goes, we're not. What do you mean you're not? No, they just appointed somebody. Appointed somebody? Yeah. Are you kidding me? No. Who'd they appoint? Ruth Ann Newesteg. Are you kidding me? No, this is a joke, right? No, they just appointed her. There's not going to be a nomination. That's it. No. So this poor guy who was going to run, and he's qualified, and he's smart, he doesn't even get a shot at it. So why? Well, because I think the PCs in this city don't think they can beat Gates. So they don't want to put up a good candidate if he can't win. And you saw the same thing, if you remember, back when Bob Dole was running. Bob Dole was running for the Republicans against Bill Clinton. They knew he couldn't beat Clinton. Republicans had no prayer against Clinton. So they put in a lame candidate, just somebody named Bob Dole, some old guy, and he was going to be their sacrificial lamb. Let him get his ass kicked by Clinton, and then we'll bring forth a better candidate later on down the road. That was that. That was that. Perhaps the PCs think that's what's going to happen here. We'll just throw this lame candidate in. She's going to get her ass kicked, and that'll be that. And then we're going to bring in another candidate to challenge Gates, whomever that may be. That's the only thing I could figure why they just did it this way. It doesn't make sense any other way. And somebody said, oh, it's because snappy, baloney snap election, my ass. Snap election. Give me a break. What, do people think we're stupid? Snap election. You mean to tell me Ford didn't know he was going to call this election until like the day of? Oh, okay. I'm going to call a snap election today. How about that? No. They knew they were going to do this. They had time to get some candidates together and have nominations and everything else. Right? Every party should have been able to get this together. They knew it was going to happen. And you mean to tell me they don't have people sitting in reserves that they can call a real quick election and find somebody? Come on. I don't believe that for a second. Give me a break. Anyway, I digress. But that's what could be happening here. I don't know. I don't get it. But either way, don't blame me. Don't blame me for a bad candidate. I didn't set it up this way. Don't blame me. Blame Ford. Blame the PC party. I don't care who you blame. Don't blame me. So my prediction. I told you I'm going to give you my prediction. Okay, here's my predictions, right or wrong. Write them down. Hold me to it. We'll see what happens after Thursday. Ford's going to get back as Ontario Premier, with Wayne Gates getting a resounding win and return as MPP. Now the PCs are going to blame the residents, and they're going to be crying when it's all over. I want change. Well, what do they expect when they appoint, not elect, a lame candidate? And even the staunchest party members have a hard time defending this one. We had Chris Regis in here. He's a big time PC. He was just tongue tied a little bit about it. What do you expect when you get a candidate and then tell her she can't do pressers or have a debate? You're keeping her out of the public eye because she's incompetent. She can't answer the questions. She can't have a debate. How are you going to debate with a guy who's been there for 11 years? You better be damn good and have some answers. Her track record is terrible on city council. Sorry, I just don't see her winning this, and I think she's going to lose by a lot. Yeah, she has the big PC movement and the big PC machine behind her here. But you know what? A lot of people who vote PC won't vote for her. They're going to vote for someone else. I'm not saying they're going to vote for Gates. Because you don't vote for her, it doesn't mean you're voting for Gates. That's what people are accusing me of. Accusing me of it. I mean, anybody who accuses me of... Here's one Facebook. What, is Wayne Gates paying you to talk good about him? You're not supposed to have him sponsoring your show. It's illegal. Anybody out there who knows me, and listens to this show and watches this show knows that I am not a fan of Wayne Gates. I've said a million times he's a do nothing. Call him the Cheeto Bandito, and I don't even want him on my show. I've said that before. He asked me to be on the show. I'd say, yeah, come on in. I'd sit him down and talk to him. Yeah, I would have no problem with that if he asks. But I'm not inviting anybody. They want to come on the show. Come on. I'm not inviting anyone. The only one I ever invite on the show is Lori Lococo. Right? That's it. Other than that, anybody's welcome. It's an open forum here. Come on in. Sit down. Wayne Gates was on the other show in the morning. This morning there was a show. Can't remember what it's called. What the heck's it called? Oh, geez, I apologize to Noella and Tammy. I think Tammy Jenneret. Is that her name? Lisa J. I don't know. I don't know any of that. Pay attention. But you know what? The bottom line is they can come on if they ask me. It's open forum. But I'm not asking them. And guess what? If you think I'm a fan of Wayne Gates and he's sponsoring this show, do you think Wayne Gates is going to sponsor a guy who calls him the Cheeto Bandito and they do nothing? Are you crazy? He's going to sponsor the show? These people are wacky. And the thing is, though, I get tired of people lying. Like they were saying that it's Wayne Gates' fault that the YMCA or YWCA, we lost that. How is it Wayne Gates' fault that we lost the YWCA or the Y in St. Catharines? He's not even in that riding. They're accusing him of losing it. And I'm going, what do you mean he lost? How can you lose that? What do you mean he lost it? In the Fort Erie Hospital. He never did anything for that. Well, what's Ford or the PC's done for the Fort Erie Hospital? They're the prevailing party. They're supposed to be doing something. Was he up there yapping about it? Sure he was. He never did it, but he never saved the Y in St. Catharines. That's a really good one. I mean, who's this guy? He's not Premier of Ontario. So I just don't, it's not that I back Gates or even talk good about him. It's that, come on, fair is fair. If you're going to lie about the crap, then I'm going to get in on it because, I don't think that's right. If you're going to tell the truth and make points, yeah, that's fine. You don't like anything he's done. He hasn't done anything. He takes credit for stuff. I say that all the time. That's true. I lost the Y in St. Catharines. What's he have to do with that? Or setting tariffs or anything like that. I mean, come on. We got to be real here. Got to keep it real. So if anybody's going to say stuff like that, I'm going to come back and I ask the question: how did he lose the Ys? He didn't own them. How did he lose them? Then somebody accuses you of being a Gates supporter. You're supporting Gates. He endorses you. He supports your show. Come on. Believe me, if Wayne Gates, if he's going to support a guy who calls him names and says he does nothing, then he is a whack job. I don't think he'd ever do that. I don't think he'd ever do that. Anyway, let's get off of that subject. You go vote Thursday. Go vote for somebody. I don't care who you vote for. Vote for whoever you think is reflects your views on the world. That's who you got to vote for. And if you're a conservative and a PC and you like Ford, vote for Newsday. If you're a dipper, vote for Gates. If you're a liberal, hardcore liberal, vote for Shafoli. Even though she's not from here, she doesn't know about Niagara Falls. Vote for her. What do I care what you vote for? What do I care? No, I don't care. Vote for who you want, but I'm just giving you my prediction. Wayne Gates by a good margin, and that's the way it's going to go. Let's go down south, but first let's talk about our third sponsor and my guys down there at Hamel Machine Company, and I talk about Hamel Machine Company and the great work they do for industry in this city, and there's no denying it. This is a premier machine shop in the city, been here since 1948, and is a lot more than just your little machine shop that fixes things and machines things and makes things. They're inventors, they're innovators. They sell stuff all over the world of the products that they've invented and made. They come up with solutions for industry, not just fixing things, solutions to make their companies run better. That's what they do. They're unbelievable down there. And they'll set you up with anything you need if you're in an industry or anything you need if you're at home. Did you break a piece of metal? Do you need a piece of metal machined for some bizarre reason? You need a keyway cut, whatever you need, they're going to be able to do it. And if you take the part down there for you and they can't fix it, then they can machine you a new one. What, you need a shaft or something? They can do it. They can do it. They can machine anything there. And for industry, I mean, they've redone all the wine racks for most of the wineries here. They've made them out of aluminum instead of steel, so they're easier to handle. They're lighter, and they make work easier for people. They've invented machines that harvest hydroponics. They've cut the job down to seconds with the inventions that they made to do this work. And Rich's products for you, same thing. So this company has been around since 1948, and they've done so much stuff. And I was surprised when I heard the different things they do. Hamel Machine Shop, your one stop. Take her in there. You want a set of gates made for your backyard? They'll custom design them and custom make them for you. Powder coat them. Unbelievable the work they do. I was really surprised when Bob Benner came in here and told us about Hamel Machine Company. So just go to hamelmachine.ca. You'll see the beautiful work that they do, and they can certainly help you if you have a problem with any equipment around your house, a lawnmower, a snowblower. You need something done. Hamel are the guys that could probably help you. They're the guys right down here. They've got the place right over here on Bridge Street, Hauser's Welding, right there. They can fix it for you. On Kent Street, they have another shop down there. They can fix it for you. That's where you want to go. Support our sponsors because they support the show. They're good people. They're good city people, and they support the city. Thank you so much for supporting our sponsors. Okay, let's go down south for a while because the hijinks down there are getting better, and Canadians are getting madder by the day. They're butthurt about everything. Well, Trump's got his full cabinet confirmed. They're starting to clean house. Trump's approval ratings are an all-time high in the U.S. on all fronts. You name it, his approval rating is through the roof. Trillions of dollars are pouring into the U.S. as investors line up to build in the United States, with Apple just announcing a $500 billion investment in the U.S., hiring 20,000 people. We're only a month into this presidency, and more has happened for the American people in that month than the previous 4 years combined. Funny thing is, the only people not interested in investing in the U.S. right now are Canadians. I don't get it. The only country that has been asked to join the U.S. at the table when this basket of fruit come in, join them at the money table, is Canada. They never asked any other country. And not only are they not interested in sharing this wealth, they want to aggravate and tax the Americans instead of cooperating with them. Strange beings, these Canadians. I don't get it. Most powerful country in the world, the biggest economy in the world, right? There's Bob Benner right there from Hamill Machine Company. There he is. Yeah, the biggest ones in the world, and Canada's want to join. Oh, they're going to go join Europe or something. Oh yeah, I got to join Europe. Yeah, our roots are there. Yeah, 3,000 miles away, you're going to join some fledgling, broke, whatever the hell they are, European Union, but you don't want to join your neighbors. Unbelievable. Now, the funny exchange this week, if you want to look for funny stuff, was between Trump and Maine Governor Janet Mills. I don't know if anybody saw this, but it's on the subject of transgender women or transgendered men. I don't know which way that goes in women's sports. So men in women's sports is what it boils down to. And she said right in the meeting of the governors, her state is not going to comply with Trump's executive order barring transgender girls and women from women's sports. She says she said she's going to comply, and this is out loud with all the other governors sitting around. She's going to comply with state and federal law. And Trump looks at her and says, "We are the federal law, and we've told you to get rid of this nonsense." And she says, "We'll see you in court." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. This is going to be an easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be elected in politics again." So this was a pretty wild exchange, and she's going to either obey the executive order or he's going to cut off funding. He's going to cut off federal funding to the state. Here, you go it alone. And that's a pretty big statement right there, because the feds do fund a lot of states projects, programs, whatever you want to call them. Now, of course, the line has been drawn because the states do have autonomy under the 10th Amendment. They retain the right to sovereignty, freedom, and independence. That's why they have their own presidents, and they call them governors, but the governor is basically the president of the state. This means that states have all powers, jurisdictions, and rights that are not explicitly given to the United States by the Constitution. Even their own military, they have their National Guard. But at the end of the day, all federal funding can also be taken away by the federal government. So there's that. So this is going to be an interesting battle, and she may take it to court. She may take that ruling to court, but at the end of the day, whether she wins or loses, she loses. It's a no-win situation because the feds do have the authority to cut off all funding, and then Maine will be on its own. And when they start hurting and the midterm elections come up or the elections come up whenever she's running, yeah, she may not have a job. So she's better off working with Trump and getting it done, just like Canada is. Now, his buddy Elon Musk was at the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, and he was asked about these left-wing radicals accusing him of wanting people's information to steal their money so that he can make more money. And he said, yeah, if I steal their money, maybe I can buy some nice things. So he's just laughing at the whole thought of it. Come on, the guy's worth $500 billion. He's going to be stealing somebody's $2,000 Social Security, $500 Social Security check. Come on, people. This is crazy. That was the funniest line of the conference. I was laughing my head off. Now, Musk and his army of Dodge agents have been assigned to the U.S. Treasury so they can be used to better serve the American people. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen, giving back to the American people either through the Doge bonus which looks like it's going to be about $5,000 a person, maybe. You can imagine that. He's encouraging Trump to give a Doge bonus. 20% of the money he saves, he would like to go back to the American people. Or giving the American people it through the bonus, or supporting programs for health, homelessness, old age security, Medicare, Medicaid. It's the people's money that he's finding that has been abused. They deserve better once the waste is found and eliminated. And this city could learn a lot from Doge. And I'm going to repeat where we can find some Doge savings within the city, the Cataract City here. It would help taxpayers, save taxpayers millions, remove any increases, and help citizens immediately. That's what he's doing down there, and he's got his army of thing. And I had a great discussion about what exactly he's doing, and the person was saying that he's in there changing this and doing that, these agents and everything else. And I read up on it, and basically when they get into these files to find out, basically it's a ledger, find out where the money's going, they found 4.7 trillion they couldn't account for. There's no entries as to where it went. It's just gone. So they got to look more into that. But basically they have read-only files. They can go in there and read these files. They can't do any changes. And the one thing I think this person I was discussing it with was talking about was there was one 25-year-old agent of Musk's who at some point they had made a mistake and give him read and write files. Now, read and write files means he can go in there and change things, the write part of it. But apparently he didn't even know he had it, and they took it away before he had a chance to change anything or do anything. But they're not supposed to be doing that. They're supposed to be in there just getting information so that they can save money and get rid of the waste. And we saw that, I think it was yesterday, all those USAID people had their boxes because they're all fired leaving. And people outside were cheering them. They're cheering them on. Now, these people have been stealing money for all these years. And people were cheering them on when they were leaving. Can you imagine that? It's the most insane thing I've ever heard of. It's insane. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. They're mad at Musk for finding the money that these people have spent and wasted on them. They're mad at Musk for that. It doesn't make a lick of sense, but that's what's going on. That's the way it goes. Okay, so they're getting money back. Everybody's getting money back in the States. It's a good day for the Americans. Now, speaking of tariffs, did you know that Canada has had tariffs on U.S. goods for a lot of years now? Way before Trump ran his first mandate to put tariffs on stuff and talked about it. Here's some of them, just so you know. Milk, 270% tariff. This is coming from the United States into Canada. Cheese, 245%. Butter, 298%. Chicken, 238%. Sausages, 69.9%. Barley seed, 57 to 58%. Copper, 48%. Aluminum, 45%. Steel, 35%. Cars, 45%. TV, 45%. Eggs, 163%. And bovine meat, steaks and stuff, 26.5%. Now, do you remember when people were running over the river to Tops to buy milk and eggs and everything because they were so cheap and they're so expensive in Canada? Well, anything that comes from the States has these tariffs on it. Yeah, they're more expensive in Canada, I guess. Butter, 298%. Chicken, 238%. And this is just protecting the Canadian industry. So when they talk about tariffs, that's what they're talking about. And we have had them on the United States for a long time. So everybody's getting mad at Trump, but these tariffs have been in place for a long time. Source of this, Global Affairs Canada. In effect, Canada started the trade war a long time ago. Most Canadian businesses are taxed heavily by the government and couldn't survive without imposing tariffs on the cheaper products that the U.S. produces and sends to Canada. They would send eggs in here and we'd be paying 99 cents a dozen instead of $2, $3, $4.99. And the same with a lot of butter and everything. That's why people run over this river to buy cheese and and butter and chicken and milk, and you get turkeys for 29 cents a pound over there. Everybody was running over to get them at Tops. Get a 20 pound turkey for $5. So don't think we haven't been putting tariffs on them for a long time. That's all I'm getting at. Whether you like Trump doing it or not, that's another story, but we've been doing the same thing to them for a long time. And that's why Trump is mad. So as Canada is broke, and we are, we're a trillion and a half in debt, the country, have hundreds of thousands of homeless wandering around the streets. Trudeau just handed the Ukraine another $5 billion in aid along with tanks, ammunition, and drones. All the while, on the other side of the border, Trump is trying to end this war. He doesn't want to give them more money and arms and everything. He wants to end it so they don't have to fight anymore and kill people. And meanwhile, our dopey prime minister is giving them $5 billion and more arms and everything else. So what they give them along with tanks, ammunition, and drones. You know, the lunacy never ends in Canada. It really doesn't. And I laugh because you've got people like Ford and all that mad at these tariffs. We're going to have to stop American booze on shelves in the liquor store. So what about the booze that you already have in stock? What are you going to do with that? You're not going to sell it? Wouldn't it be wiser to leave it on and let the people decide whether they want to buy it at increased prices? Throw a 25% increased tariff on the goods that are already here, put them on the shelf. And if I want to buy Jack Daniels or any other thing that's produced in the States, I pay more. That's up to me. And why let it sit in a warehouse and rot? It doesn't even make sense they're taking them off the shelf. Put them on there at higher prices until they're gone. Don't order anymore. These people are, I'm telling you, they make me crazy. They make me crazy. Where's common sense? There's no common sense anymore. Trudeau giving them arms and money when Trump's trying to end the war. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's a wacky world we live in, and it's wacky in the city, and it's wacky in this election. Everybody's whacked. Hold on now. Let me think about that. Maybe everybody's okay, and I'm whacked. Now, that could be. That could be. But you never know. Now, hey, let's talk about these spendthrifts. How are we going to save money? How are we going to doge our city council? Okay, let me repeat what the list I had the other day and comment on it. Comment on it. Tell me if you think I'm wacky. Doge number one, stop the $17 million NST trail immediately. That's my number one Doge. Number two, Doge. Immediately cut the $700,000 to the Innovation Hub. Nothing for them. That's my number two Doge. My number three Doge, immediately cut the 18% for the casino patrol, which is equal to about, I'd say about 3.4 to 3.6 million this year. Cut it. We give the Niagara Regional Police $213 million a year to run their department, of which we pay the lion's share of that bill to patrol the region. There's no reason we're paying another $4 million for them to patrol the casino area. That's baloney. The casino area's got security. They've got the OPP. They got the RCMP down there. There's no reason to be giving the Niagara Regional Police $4 million from our pockets, taxpayer pockets, for what? They're already patrolling and we're already paying the lion's share of that $213 million. Oh, yeah, we get billed for it. Every city gets billed for it. We get billed for it. They get billed for it. St. Gavin's gets every city in the region gets billed. There's no reason for us to be paying more. And number four, Doge number four, stop the $350,000 wasteful spending on non-essential items like a $25,000 concrete ping pong table. Stop that right away. So what are we adding this up? $17 million, 24, 17, that's 18.4, 18.65. What do we got? 350. So 19 million. Reduce city staff by 30 to 50%. That's going to save us a few million, I think. It's going to save us a buck and a half for sure. And convert the exchange into a useful entity like a medical center owned and operated by the city. Wouldn't that be nice? Our $17 million white elephant may get paid for. Yeah, that's another one of my doges. And the other one I have, my other biggest doge is, and everybody's going to hate this, do a deep dive into the biggest department our city has, that is the fire department, and find $5 million of savings through hiring changes and shift changes. I believe we can find a lot of money there without upsetting the apple cart, without upsetting the way fires are handled in this city or emergency calls are handled. There's a lot of money to be saved there, but it's sacrosanct. Nobody can look at it. Well, that's got to end. There is no department in this city that shouldn't be looked at for wasteful spending and everything else. See what Elon did? He sent a letter to every employee, I think in the Treasury Department, in one department. He said, respond to this email telling me what you did last week at your job. If I don't receive a reply by midnight tonight, we consider that a resignation. Now everybody's freaking out. Our employees are valuable employees. Listen, he doesn't want to get rid of anybody that's working. But there's a lot of people who are getting paid that aren't working. Whether they're working from home, and that was the biggest thing. They told everybody they had to come back into the office or they don't have a job. They can't sit at home and do nothing anymore. That's out. And now he's finding out who out there actually is getting paid and on the payroll and isn't working. That's what he wants to know. And if you reply, you're working. If you don't reply, you're not working. And that account's going to be cut right off. So that's what he's doing. Don't get upset, everybody. He doesn't want to fire everybody, although he's going to trim. Believe me, there's no department's escaping. And it should be the same here. We have a lot of departments in this city, and every one of them should be gone through with a fine-tooth comb to find waste. I mean, we've seen a lot of waste. I just mentioned a bunch of stuff we could save on, and I haven't even looked at it yet. But we need a DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. Get rid of these DEI committees and get a Department of Government Efficiency, and they go to every department. Sit down with the department heads and find out exactly what they need and start cutting. Chop, chop. Chop, chop. It's all on the taxpayers' dollars. We're sick of it. We don't want to pay anymore. Now, what about you out there in video land? Do you think these recommendations are impossible? Do you think we can save tax money in this city so we don't have to have any increases anymore? We don't need a 23% over the last 4 years? You think we should never have to raise taxes again in this city? There's lots of money there. I do. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, we have to take this city back. It's time to take the city back. And on that note, I am out of here. So tomorrow's Habsolutely. I'll be in here talking about the Habs, and they had a great win. And we play again tonight, so we'll be talking about that tomorrow for the whole show. All Habs, all show, Habsolutely on Wednesdays. Thursday will be Straight Talk Thursday, and we'll get into more of this stuff on Thursday. And viewers' comments. Come on, leave me some comments. I want to talk about them. And then Thursday is Election Day. We get out and vote. And then Friday, we'll talk about the election and what the results were and see if any of my predictions come true. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But we'll find out. And then we'll try to look and see what happened. What happened? I don't know. Well, I know, but we'll see what happened on Thursday. We'll see what happened on Friday after the election on Thursday. That should be fun. I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to see it. Don't forget City Council today at 4:00. Tune in probably 4:35 if they're going in camera, and they usually don't get up till 4:30 or 5. But check it out starting at around 4. It's going to be broadcast at NiagaraFalls.ca or on YouTube. Or sometimes Cogeco carries it on their. I have Epico, so it would be on channel 100. I'm not sure what channel it is. It's the Cogeco channel on regular Cogeco cable. You can watch it there. I'm going to be watching it until the Habs game starts. If it goes longer than that, I went through the agenda yesterday. There was nothing added to it today. I checked on it, and I don't think it's going to be a real long meeting unless time wasters get up and start grandstanding and that kind of thing, because it's only 6 pages or something like that. It was very, very slim, the package. And there may be some discussions on a couple things that I talked about yesterday. So watch for those if you watch the show, review it. Other than that, that's all I got for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I thank you for your comments. Hit the subscribe button. Come on, it costs nothing to subscribe, not 1 red cent. But you help the algorithm here, um, because as there's more viewers, it gets to more pieces, more places, more people see it, and more people can get involved. So subscribe, hit the like, or if you don't like, you can hit that too. Leave comments. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you so much for everything you do for the show. I like to see people involved and getting engaged and getting out there and voting and seeing if we can take 27% turnout from last election and turn it into 45%. Maybe we can. I don't know. But the more you get involved, the more chance there is of that happening. My name is Paul Killamere. This is Your City, Your Voice. Support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue and Hamel Machine Company. Support all our sponsors, please. We will see you tomorrow with Absolutely if you're a Habs fan, Thursday. And don't forget, we broadcast live at noon, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for Your City, Your Voice. Wednesdays for Absolutely on 4680Q Radio. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. God bless you. And don't forget, Vandalay Industries is where it's at. Take care, everybody.